Press Experience. My name is Michael. Today is the review of the Alincell X1. So let's just dive into it today. I've been using this machine for the past couple of days, and I'm gonna tell you guys, I really love this machine. It's a really good machine. I think it's the best diode laser out there on the market right now because of the technology this machine have inside of there. So I'm gonna go over, give you guys a whole tour of this machine on my unboxing. I just went through it a little bit and dive in. So today we're gonna do a dive in this machine and go from there. So when you first unbox this machine, you get it all set up and hooked up. This machine is gonna go through a calibration. So what happened is the head moves into the middle, it starts to vibrate, it do something just like a 3D printer. When it's all said and done, it goes all the way in the back and you're ready to go. When you do hook this machine up, you gotta hook it up to your Wi-Fi. The moment you hook it up to your Wi-Fi, it's gonna ask you for a update. So go ahead and update your firmware on this machine. When you do hook up your air assist pump, it also gonna notify you and let you know that you have a update. So the thing about the air assist pump, if you can run this on Bluetooth and you can also run it with the cable. But to get the software or the firmware update on the air assist pump, you have to hook it up directly to the computer. To hook it directly up to the machine. And that's how you update your air assist pump. And once you get that updated in the firmware update, you can just go ahead and hit Bluetooth. So this have a PM. What a PM stand for, it's a sensor that reads the quality of the air inside the machine and read the quality of the air inside your home. So if you are running this machine in a tight space or apartment or somewhere you don't have a lot of ventilation and stuff like that, it will notify you and let you know if the quality is high or if the quality is low. Right now, so I have good quality where I'm at. But I also know that they did say that how if the quality gets too bad, this machine kind of shuts down itself just to get the quality back level. So in case you got like animals in your home, your kids or your health, you want to be careful of that, because when you cut in acrylics and wood, you know, it set out a toxic fume inside of your home or wherever you're at. So you want to just keep an eye on that. This was a pretty kind of cool. I have seen um no laser have this kind of technology. Also too, this machine have the Linux base. You have a Linux based operating system. The screen here is a 6.86 screen, very responsive screen. You have your home right here. Also too, you have your folder right here with it keeps all your jobs. As you guys can see, I've been doing some jobs in here. When it came with this file, so I suggest you guys don't delete that file. And this over here is where you can plug a USB, take your USB from your computer and plug it up in here and use this here. The good thing about this machine, what I like, you don't really have to be on your computer to operate this machine. You can use this machine. You can use this machine right here on this screen. Down here is where your settings are, like your general, your function, and your maintenance. So I'm just gonna run you guys through what a general is. You have your Wi-Fi. You can also do this in LAN mode. You got your Bluetooth to hook up your air assist. And also they have a pure amplifier for this that you can run it off of Bluetooth. I don't have that yet. You have your device information. So if you want to know much about the information of the laser, it tells you. It also give you the information also on your laser head also too. It also give you the hours and everything like that on it, on all the information that you need. Even on your pump, it give you all the information on the pump also too. Just hit the button back. Also, you got your language, where you set your language to whatever language you speak. You have auto screen lock. You have the factory reset button. You have your firmware update. So you just might want to go check your firmware, make sure your firmware on your machine is all up to date. You have auto screen shut off. You have your export log. So what export log is, every time you use this machine, it logs information. It logs the performance of the machine. So if the machine have any kind of problems or any kind of error it throws, and you reach out to the support system, they're gonna ask you, hey, can you please send us the export log information? So how to get the export log information? All you got to do is put your USB in it. You press the export information, and it send it directly to the USB. You hook your USB up, and then you email it to those guys, and they can tell you, give you troubleshooting tips for how to fix what the problem is with the machine, which is pretty great. You have your privacy and your policy down below, and you have your contact information to contact if you have any kind of problem with them, with Alincell. Their support team is right there. You have also, let's go into the function. You have your light function where you can turn this up, you can turn it down, you can put it to medium, or you can turn it up high. That's your light for your lights. I just had to turn my lights on there. I didn't know my lights was off. So right now, so I'm turning it back to medium. Here you have your device prompt sound. So that is whenever you press the buttons that you can hear, you hear that noise. You have your touch screen and also your tray detection. So what does tray detection means? When you pull this out, the machine beeps. When you push it back in, the machine beeps. So that detect that the tray is in there. Also too, you have your flame detection. And as you can see in the back right here, there are 5 flame detection back there. And then they have 4 more right up in front here along the way. So now let's go into the maintenance. So you have device self-test. So what device self-test is, if you think that the machine have a problem or anything, maybe once in a blue moon, you might want to just hit this button just to make sure that everything's works. So what this does, it goes through and it does a whole test of every component in here. It tests the cameras, it tests your laser, it tests to make sure the fan in the back is working, and make sure your screen in front is working, make sure your lights is working. It just do a self test, make sure everything is working, and if do have an issue, it will let you know that the machine have a problem. Then you have your photo calibration over here. So that's where these cameras. So this thing come with 3 cameras. There's 2 8-megapixel camera, and in the corner right over here, there's another camera right there that you can view in here and see your work going on. So that's what that is for. So when you hit that photo calibration, as you guys can see, there's 1, 2, there's 3, and there's 4, there's 5, and there's 6 over there. It's the same thing like the M2. The only difference is with the M2, it just had them here on top of the work bed. Here they have them on the side. Be careful with those sensors, because if those sensors get scratched or anything, you will not able to get your calibration right to make sure that when you make the camera focus properly inside there. So I stress a lot about making sure that you guys don't damage the sensors. Just be careful when you're cleaning it or you putting material in there or anything like that, because those are what makes your cameras work really well. Also too, you got device calibration. So if you feel like your calibration is off or anything like that, so you could just go hit that and it will calibrate you back up to you. You got your laser clean. So when you hit that, you scan the QR code and it tells you how you clean your laser. Also too, this is a red dot crossing. You scan that and it tells you how to do your red dot. So when it does that, what it does is that you pull this out. So if you off, what it's gonna do is gonna engrave across a line inside of your on your material, and then all you gotta do is line this up to it and then hit comfort, and then bam, the laser is lined back up again. And then you just think, very responsive screen. So I'm gonna go to home. Over here is where you have your light. As earlier you guys can see, I didn't have my light on because the screen is very sensitive. You hit that, it turns the light on or turn the light on or turn the light off. Then you have this is for locking the screen. This is your Wi-Fi. This is if any error codes, it's right here. All of this is gonna log right here. That's what that is. If you want to know how to get to your pump, you hit that button right there, and this is where your air compressor is, and you hit that. You can go auto, 3, 2, 1, or off, and that's how you control your pump. This button is, as usual with any laser machine, is your button to start your work and job. This is your shut off emergency switch. So if something is going wrong, or you see smoke or anything, all you got to do is hit that, and it locks your machine completely off. And then you just hit it, and bam, it locks the machine completely on. It's gonna make a little bit of noise right now because I just locked that off, and it's gonna break the machine, come back on, as you guys see. Right here is where you put your USB. This is where you put your computer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it just start right back up again. Sorry for the noise, guys. And this is here is for your key. Back here is where you plug your air assist. Here is where you put your fire extinguisher. This is your off and on switch. This is your power. So back here is where the 2 fans are. I hope that you guys can see. I'm gonna let the cameraman go back there and shine it a little more better. So back there is where these 2 fans are. You gotta make sure that these fans are hooked up really right, and you got your air hose, and I got it vented out through the window. So what I did for my air assist, I did not want my air assist on top of this table because that pump is kind of loud. So what I did is I went to my local hardware store, and I just got me a hose long enough to reach down there to the bottom. And if you want to know what the size is, this is a 5/16 hose. So if you want to go to your thing, so all you got to do is get a 5/16 hose, cut it as the length that you want it to do. If you want to put your pump somewhere or build something for the thing, and that's how it is. So when this machine first starts up, you want to go ahead and update the firmware on this machine. It's going to give you, when you first launch it, to get the firmware on your air assist pump, you have to hook it up directly into the machine, and that's when you could get the firmware update. So it do not do firmware update over Bluetooth. You have to directly plug it in to your machine to get it to get updates. And once you get it update, that's when you could go ahead and put it back to the Bluetooth. And I'm gonna tell you guys, man, I saw a lot of content creators saying that how they had issues where the air assist will come off and come on. I haven't had that problem yet, and knock on wood, I hope I don't have that issue. The one thing I noticed with this machine, it's very, very responsive. Like literally, it's very, very, very responsive. When you download the software from the website, the moment you do run through the whole software and you load the software, it will automatically pops up on your screen, and it's gonna show you your IP address, which is 192, whatever your home, where your IP address is, will pop up right there. All you gotta hit is confirm, and bam. What I noticed when I had my M2, all the time I used to have to manually every time I open up Xtool, I had to manually reconnect it back to the software. Every time you open up the software, this will automatically reconnect really fast, really quick. For the laser, I went with a 20 watts is because I do a lot of engraving. I'm not really going to be doing a lot of cutting with big material, maybe later on, but I do a lot of engraving. So that's the reason why I went with the 20 watt of this laser machine, is because I just like the quality of the engraving. Another thing, this is like on a gantry, so you can move it back and forth. You can move this here, move it to matching material. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little thing about this machine, what I run into when I first hooked this machine up to the software. I thought this machine would have performed like how the M2 will perform, where when you close the door, when you close the hood, it will come out measured and then also go back. No, it's different. There's three ways you can measure your material. They have automatically, they have manually, and they have where you take your mouse and then you put it on the material and then it does like that. So when I first put my material in there, I was like, man, why is this thing not automatically doing what it's supposed to do? Coming from one laser to another laser, I learned that every laser is different. So if anybody's trying to get into a different laser, remember that all lasers are different. All lasers perform different, and that's how I had to learn this. So the way how the automatically works is you put your material in, you do all your settings inside of the software, and later on in a video I'm going to show you guys all of that stuff. You put all your stuff into the software, and then after a while, when you get all your stuff set up and all your stuff then put together, or whatever you're engraving, then you hit your framing, then it frames it, then you hit proceed, and when you hit the proceed part of it, that's when the laser comes out. It drops this little pin down, it measure it, and then it goes back, push the pin back up, and then it comes back, and then it cut the wood. Then they have another one where you hit and then where you think. So the other way how to measure your wood is you have to bring this out, line your material up on your line this laser on your material. You go back to the software, you hit the measurer, it's gonna drop that down, and then it's gonna measure it, then it's gonna put it back up, and it's gonna stay right where it is. And then all you have to do is hit proceed, and then it's gonna take off. The another way is you take your mouse, you on the inside of the software, you point it exactly where you want to put it, then it will measure it again, drop the little needle, measure it, do what it needs to do, and then it go back home, and then it start the procedure. So in case you guys run into a problem like that, that's the problem I had. I thought there was something wrong with the machine, but it wasn't nothing wrong with the machine. It was like a user error. So these are things that I learned on the way of learning this machine. Another problem we was having was it was getting clogged up. Somehow when I was engraving, the laser was getting clogged up, and then this sensor right here was not working properly, and it comes over and it was like, oh, not reading. And I was like, man, wait, what is going on? So I kind of find out what the problem is. What was going on is that when I did a firmware update, you have to give us a second for the firmware to do what it needs to do. See, I didn't give the firmware enough time to go through everything. So that's the problem I was having with the machine. Like, you got to let the firmware go through, do what it needs to do all the self-testing, do all what it needs to do. And then afterward, since I've did that, knock on wood, we never had any issues with that. On top of here, as you see this yellow, make sure you do not put anything on top of here, else it will throw your alignment off or damage your camera. So I advise you to please do not put anything on top of here, especially right here in this sensor part right here. Do not put anything there, because it will throw your alignment on your camera, as it says right here on top of the label. So just be careful of that. Just read everything that this machine read your manual, read everything. I still got a sticker right here. It's to kind of remind me of things not to do or any things to do. So overall with this laser machine, I am very impressed with this laser machine. They also say the size of this machine is 20, I think it says 24 by 18, but it's actually 26 by 21 inches. Because as you guys can see, I'm very picky, very anal. I like my machines to be clean. When I was cutting this out, I had to measure this 26 by 21 inches to fit this metal piece that I have in the bottom. You can get this from your local hardware sold auto if you don't want your bottom in messed up and stuff like that. So the actual size is saying 24 by 18, but it's actually 26 by 24 by 21. So it's 26 inches wide and 21 inches long. So somehow I don't how they got the size mix up or anything like that. Do I have any bad thing to say about this machine? No. This machine is really a good machine for anybody who's starting out in the laser business. Is the software is user friendly. I had all those mind little hiccups, but that was on my part with me not giving the machine time to get the firmware updated and all of that working properly. So that was my fault. Afterwards, and I didn't had no kind of problem with this machine. I kind of love this machine. I really do love this machine. You know what I mean? It could do a lot of big products. It could do. Sorry guys. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, this machine is really good. I love this machine. Do I recommend this machine to anyone? Yes, I do. Do I still recommend the M2 to anyone? Yes, I still do. If you are on a budget and you're trying to get into lasering, just like I was trying to get into laser run, I suggest you guys start out with the M2 laser engraving machine. Learn how to do lasering and then work your way up. You don't want to go there spending a lot of money and you don't have the clientels to make that money back or anything like that. You want to start small and then grow up. M2, the M2 is a really great machine. I have a lot of comments of people asking me if I am going to bring the M2 back. Yeah, we will bring the M2 back. But as you can see, X2 just launched another laser machine, and I'm kind of really interested in that laser machine to bring it here soon whenever it launch. But as for now, for the Alien X1, I love this machine, man. I really do love this machine. I do recommend this machine. This machine is for anybody. This machine is for anybody that got business, because the space of it, the workspace of it, you can put out a lot of production with this machine. This machine is fast. The engraving is great. I'm gonna show you guys a couple projects that we did on this machine. I did this right here, and you could see, look at the detail of what that machine does. Just look at the detail. Just look at the detail of it. Just look. This is acrylic, and just look at the detail that this machine just bring out. That's just a great detail. We also did some mirrors, and just look at the detail of the mirror. Just look, clean, no mess in the back, just awesomely, just clean, just clean. You know what I mean? Just look at the detail. Just look at the details. Just clean and nice. You know, we did a couple mirrors. Just look. Just look at the detail that this machine just produced out here. We also did we also made these lamp things. You know, you can make as a gift for someone, for a loved one, or anything like that. You know, this is why it cuts out. We just cut it out and I just stained it. You got your little lamp right there you could put in there. You know what I mean? This machine, and look how nice and crisp the ends come out. Really just good. It's really good. You know, we did make some good project. Well, you know, and look at, and as for slate, this is how great the slate came out. No treatment, nothing, just clean, put in there, get your settings right, and we just got it done. Also too, when I first started out, this was my tester that I started out with. When my first, this was my first one that I did, and it was kind of too deep. And after a while, I kind of lessened up a little bit, and then I will lessen up way too much. Then here, I kind of messed up right here. And this is my settings that I use right here, because I noticed that with this setting, I was getting really good engraving and also scoring. So this was with engrave and also score, and these are my settings that I use. right here. So I kind of adjusting. I don't remember what the setting was for these. And then after a while, I went playing with it again, trying to get the right settings. And I was between this and this and this. And I end up choosing this one here for engraving. This is for a shop that I'm doing something else. Remember when I told you guys about that red laser? This is what it does. It puts a scar, put a thing, and then after a while you gotta line your laser up to it to give it accurate. And that's what I was doing. So if I was you guys, go ahead, do a bunch of testing, to get things done, and get your settings right. And once you get your settings right, make sure you log your settings. I'm going to show you guys all of that stuff in the Alien software, how to set your settings and how to save your settings. Another thing too, I did reach out to Alincell. We've been emailing back and forth. I did give them some more suggestions to making the software better. They kind of like my suggestion. And I'm kind of working out something with Alien that I can think. They also told me that yes, there is a rotary for this machine, and now you can purchase the rotary. They also is coming out with a riser. I can't kind of explain to them if they do make a riser. I hope that they make a riser, that one that have the wheel that you can slide to make bigger project, like bigger signs and bigger things. That would be a game changer with this machine if they could have one where it's slime. But they do say that they are working on upgrading the software. They are upgrading to make it more better. They are bringing some AI technology. They didn't really want to tell me much more what they're doing, but they did tell me that how there's a rotary now that you can replace. And last night they did update their software. It was 1.5, now it's 1.6.0, and now they have the rotary inside of the software where you can choose the rotary. No, so they did upgrade their software a little bit and put the rotary in there. So no, you can get the rotary for this. I am working with Alien to see if they could send me out a rotary, and if they do send me out a rotary, I will do a video on that. So I'm kind of working closely with them. We are emailing each other back and forth, trying to find out more details, trying to give them more details of improving the software. But for right now, the software is user friendly. The software is easy to use. I know Alincell is a new company, and man, they have changed the game when it comes around the diode laser light. They did change the game. Like, I just got into lasering. I haven't been doing this too long, but I have been looking at a lot of lasers way before I bought the M2. I was looking at a lot of lasers, and I've never seen a diode laser like nothing like this that have all this technology that is inside of this. This thing have technology that is like this crazy. I think this thing have a mind on its own, and it's a really good laser. So if anybody out there who is interested in buying this laser, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the link down below. For disclosure, I purchased this machine with my own money. Yes, Alincell did give me a nice little discount off of this machine, but I still purchased this machine with my own money. So everything that I'm telling you guys, Alincell did not tell me what to say, did not tell me what to do. I'm just doing this review. So if anybody out there who's interested in buying this machine, man, I'm telling you, man, you would not regret it. This is a good machine. Just remember, coming from one laser machine to another laser machine, they're not work the same. So that's something that I learned. Coming from the M2 to this big machine was a game. It was a big jump for me. It was like a literally big jump for me, because the things that I thought that M2 was gonna perform, this is totally different. This machine is in its own category. And if Alincell keep sending updates and keep making the software better and keep things, this is gonna be one of the best diode laser on the market out there. If you guys have any questions or if you guys have any concern, please go ahead and leave us a comment down below. If you guys like the content that we bring into you guys, please go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I don't have nothing else more to say about this machine than saying that this is a wonderful machine. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this one. You know, I always leave you guys with it. I was leaving you guys with what the great Bamali said. We live in a really tough time right now, and man, we need some love and we need some peace in this world. And anybody out there who is trying to get into this type of business, do your homework, do your research. Don't go out there just spending money and then you know you can't make the money. Make sure you have the customer base to make your money back. Just take it from my experience in doing this business from a long time. I've been doing t-shirts. I've been doing, this is not my first business. This is like my third business. And I kind of learned on the way of doing business. Take your time. Crawl before you walk. Just though that's not everything you see is glitter, is gold. Do your research on companies, do your research on your finances, do your research on anything. These are just experience that I'm telling you guys from somebody who been through it. I have a machine that I use one time, and if I didn't, because I didn't do my research on that machine, the machine been sitting for almost 5 years. So all I'm saying that these machines are great, but if you don't have the customer service to make the money back or to make that money back, go for a machine that you can learn, like the M2, and get to learn this and build your customer base. I didn't know nothing about lasering, and that's what I started from. I started from the M2, and then when people find out I was doing lasering, that M2 paid for itself, and now I'm here just trying to grow. Not everything might work for me, might work for you. Not everything might work for you, might work for me. So I'm just leaving you guys with some good suggestion to help anybody out there who's trying to get into the laser business, t-shirt business, UV business, all of these type of business. Do your homework first. Do your research, because I know some people might have to take a loan out. Some people might have to borrow money from their family to get into these type of business. So a word of advice to anybody out there who's trying to get in this: do your research about companies before you purchase anything. When you call customer service, ask them questions. Ask them a lot of questions. Ask them about their return policy. Ask them about the their support system. Ask them about their custom service system. Ask these questions. Ask questions about the machine to be comfortable to purchase the machine. If you are interested in the machine, download the software, learn the software so when the machine comes, you already know how the software works. There's any machine. That could be X-Tool, that could be Bamboo, that could be a Cubic, that could be anything out there. Download the software, learn the software, get to know, familiar with it. So when your machine comes, you already know what to do. These are suggestions that I am giving on to all of you guys out there, because I had people I learned from. And there was 3 people that I learned from. Was A-Dub Production, T-Shirt Hustle, and Big Brando. Those were my 3 idols when I got into this business. When I got into the T-shirt business and when I got into this business, those guys are what I learned from. Those guys were my idol. Those guys what taught me the in and out of business. Those guys taught me how to make business good. Go look those guys up. Go look up T-Shirt Hustling. Go look up Big Brando, and also go look up A-Dub Production. Look those guys up on YouTube. Go back and learn. So these guys are what taught me anything. I know this was a review of the Alincell, but I just wanted to express myself out there that anybody who's trying to get into this business, just do your homework. Don't go there spending money and then you can't make the money back. This is a really great machine. The M2 is a really great machine. If any one of you guys out there interested in this machine, I'm going to go ahead and leave the link down below. If anybody is interested in the M2, I'm going to go ahead and leave the link down below. But what I'm going to leave you guys with, I always leave you guys with it. What a great Bob Marley says: one love. Peace.